What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Sixth Round Podcast. Oh, another week. A lot of fights.
A lot of fights.
We love it. This week, though,
so many fights.
PFL, much better week than the last two. I will say that.
Definitely.
Yes, 100% agree on that one.
I mean, it's just funny. At PFL, they ended up doing some wacky shit. So they start off with a 5-fight main card and then go into a 7-fight post-lim card.
Yes.
I forget. You said it was like a playoffs or some shit like that?
So the reason they did that was because on ESPN, they were doing I forget who was playing, but it was the play-in tournament for the NBA postseason. So the teams that were playing into play-in, whoever won that, I believe, was going to be the 8th seed going up against the number 1 seed once the tournament for the NBA finally started.
I gotcha. Either way, it's absolutely crazy that they fucking changed around MMA shit for NBA. What the fuck? Neither here.
I mean, it is not that crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
It's not crazy at all.
Respect it. You gotta respect it, especially
it changed
the
nothing
PFL.
For us, but whatever.
It didn't really change anything for us.
But yeah, PFL 3 though. 170, 155ers.
The 170 shined through this week.
Yeah, I was just. It was a night for the fucking welterweights for sure.
Deadass, because 155 is usually my favorite division, but sheesh.
Mm-hmm. What are you gonna say, Gingy?
170s, 155ers, 1 heavyweight.
Yes, very true. They, yeah, because I think it was the second week they had heavyweights, wasn't able to get them booked on that card, so they had them on this one. But card just starts off with an absolute bang. Motherfucking Magomed Umalatov just comes in, starches Delano Taylor in the first round. Delano he made it to the championship last year. I'm pretty sure, I think it might have been Magomed Karimov that got injured, or I forget what exactly happened, but I'm pretty sure like he got like filled into the like playoffs last year. Made it to the
probably, yeah, because he lost to Magomed Karimov and then beat Rory McDonald, lost to Sadabusi, and then lost to...
And Sadabu was in the championship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then lost to Magomed, so the other Magomed probably pulled out, and then he ended up fighting Umalatov.
Yeah. Or no, I'm saying last year, sorry.
Sorry, that was this year.
You're good.
Ended up fighting Sadabusi instead of...
Yeah. But yeah, either way... ended up going 5 rounds with Sadabu last year, comes in this year, and Magomed is a fucking force to be reckoned with. 13-0 now.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what to say. He just looks like he could be the guy coming into the season that could like just shake everything up, and just act like get to the championship this year.
No, seriously, this man has been to a decision 1 time.
Yeah.
He's 12-0, we said? Yeah.
13-0 now, yeah.
13-0. And yeah, he went to a decision 1 time.
Yeah.
So you're saying he's not as good as Shavkat. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, not everyone can be the Rock Man, you know what I mean?
But no, him coming in and just like basically just running through him a minute 31 into the round 1, like god damn.
Yeah, did not take long at all. So like with the PFL, what me and Kate figured out during that card is when like if let's say because with the 170 pounders, 3 of them ended up getting first round finishes that night. So just whoever gets it done quicker, that's who like they have like number 1 and then number 2 and 3. So yeah, with Magomed, a minute 31 seconds, like you said, into the first round, damn near guaranteed him that like number 1 spot coming in after that.
Yeah.
But I mean, a little bit later on in the card, but it's all 170 pounders, so
yeah.
It almost guaranteed him that, but Magomed Karimov took that spot. Not to jump spots, I'm sorry.
No, that's what I was trying to do.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's fine, so... Yeah.
I know, they're all over the place, but yeah, he took that over with a head kick a minute and 3 seconds into the first round.
Bro, he just went out there, started stalking fucking Egley, was just walking him down, hit him with a good right hand, had him hurt, that had, like, backing away,
Yep.
and then
Up.
just blasted him with that head kick. You saw him
Yeah.
he was still covered up, just kind of on wobbly feet, just, like, back in the replay, you see, like, he tries to step right, steps on the cage, and then that's when he just falls down, and, fight was over.
It was pretty much over anyway. Like,
he was out on his feet.
For that much. Like, if he had thrown, like, 1 or 2 strikes on the ground, it would have been over anyway. Like, that,
for sure.
that fight was just over.
Yeah.
So,
these two Magomeds this season, though. I
think it's gonna be a battle of the Magomeds at the end, and they're just gonna get a double knockout.
I fucking hope so. But, like, imagine just, I don't know, you're just thinking, like, oh, go to the PFL, like, not get, like, easy $1 million or something, and you're fucking in a tournament with 2 motherfuckers named Magomed.
Yeah.
And one of them has Magomed in their last name, too.
One of them has Magomed in their name twice.
Yo, listen, okay. If it is a battle of the Magomeds, and they have a double knockout, do they both win, or does nobody win?
They each get $500K.
I was about to say they split it.
They just walk out with that big ass check. Someone comes with a big ass pair of scissors, cuts it in half, and they each just hold up a side.
Yo, that would be so funny. I hope that happens.
I hope that happens.
Like, you couldn't ask for something more glorious to end the fucking PFL season. I need to see a double knockout, and that's the one I need to see.
Or what if they just write both of their names on, like, the check, and they gotta just go to the bank together, and, like, just imagine, like, you're just in Vegas, like, just a fucking working at a Vegas bank, and then these 2 big fucking Russian dudes just come in, both holding a fucking big ass check. You just look at it and just
those big checks are not real. That's
I know, but it's just Magomed Umaladov, Magomed Karimov. There's just so many Magomed.
Yes, I'm Magomed. This is also Magomed. But no, that is just the funniest, like, imagery. Just like them walking through just the casino, each holding the fucking $1 million check.
Oh man,
God.
but yeah.
Someone tries to rob them because they don't realize they're fighters and they think they just won it at the casino, and they just get fucking beat to oblivion.
I was about to say,
like, this is not the pair you want to run up on.
Oh my god.
Why am I imagining now? Just person tries to run up on both of them by themselves, and then just gets taken down and gets in an armbar and a heel hook. Like, could you imagine? Just like, I don't know what hurts, but everything fucking hurts.
Or like they're just like, because like the check's just so big, like they're just both holding it like this on each side, like they're just smiling, walking through, like just some guy just walks up, and like you just see like their expression change. They just look at each other, look back, and they just both head kick them from each side. And
okay, we're getting wildly sidetracked. Anyway, back to
back to the card.
It was a great card.
God.
But yeah, so the 2 Magomeds, fucking great. Earlier on the card, like still at 170, Carlos Leal, he was doing good last season. Pretty sure Sadabusi ended up beating him, stopping his tracks in the tournament. But just came in against David Zawada, and I mean, the thing, like, comparing him to, like, I don't know, just like the other Magomeds and Sadabu, just, I don't know, he is definitely the slowest one, I think, like,
For
just
sure.
out of all of them. Just very plotty, but he just has such big power when he lands. Hit David with a right hand, and he just was on stumbly legs, just got him all the way backed up, and got the finish just under 2.5 minutes in the first round. So there's just about damn near as good of a performance you can have, but it's just, just because the PFL, how everything's set up, and just how good everyone else looked tonight, it's like, just still ends up in the number 3 spot after tonight, that night is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to figure out how to put them in order somehow, so
Yeah.
it makes sense to go by how quick they got the knockout.
Yeah, makes sense. Like, who did it faster and things like that, because, like,
especially with the bonus points being on the
tiebreaker
round,
stuff.
like...
Yeah, exactly.
So,
if, you have, like, what, it's 4 people in the tournament, right?
When they
In the
get to the
bracket?
playoffs, like it's
Yeah, that's what
4
I'm saying.
people.
It's 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have like 5 and 6, but they have it like if you have 4 and 5 and they have the same amount of points, all right, who accumulatively had less time, you can just be like, yeah, they just did better in the season, so they move on.
And I wonder, that's probably how they do it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't until because this is my 3rd season watching it, but it wasn't until this season where just
It just kind of
But I don't remember it really happening like this, where you got like 3 people in the same division moving up that got like just a knockout, you know.
not
But I
that
know
crazy,
it's
yeah.
more with like the decisions and stuff, I guess.
But because
Yeah,
I
it's a
just
little
remember
bit crazy.
2021, 2022, and just seeing them and I don't know, this guy has 5 points and this guy has 5 points, but why the fuck is
How did he
this
move
guy
on?
ahead
But-
of him?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just always just sat there especially the first season, just watching by myself. I'm just like, what the fuck are they doing?
But I can understand where they're coming from. If it is if it is what we're thinking it is, then yeah, no, it makes sense. And maybe it's just I feel like it has to be that.
Yeah, it is the only thing that does make sense.
That's the only thing I can think of. But it's a great way for if people are tied, where do they put them in the rankings and stuff. So
no, yeah, for sure. But yeah, next 170-pound fight with Sadabusi, the returning champ. He had another really good performance. First round was just very slow, being patient, staying on the outside. But just taking his time to get in there.
Yeah.
And then minute 14 into round 2, as he was getting pressured back on the cage, just hits fucking Salawi with a nasty knee to the body. You see him just start to back away, and Sadabu just starts smiling at him, just hunts him down, and
followed up that body shot, that knee to the body with a nasty body shot, folded him, just had him over, just
boom, boom,
Yep.
boom.
beautiful.
Ref came in okay, it's over.
To be fair, again, it's PFL matchmaking. Also, all right, this is your debut fight in the PFL. You're on the Challenger Series. Here's the champ.
Yep.
I mean, going to
at least
155.
with, Shane Burgos, Marlon Moraes, it makes sense. They're former UFC guys. They're used to being on a big stage. You can be
I mean, at least with Marlon, he had the fight last year with Shaman Moraes.
No, yeah, exactly.
But so technically
is, but
but nah, yeah,
but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These guys putting up against champ makes sense. A bit more just because they fought such good competition, whereas this is his PFL debut.
Yeah. Not
coming
yet.
Off the Challenger Series, so
I mean, I don't know. Kind of, it's probably just PFL. Just trying to do both aspects of okay, well, give this lesser known guy in the PFL or whatever a big chance against their champion. Just giving them a good to just get a good win and a good name out there. And then just on the other hand, for the champ, if it ends up being a mismatch or something, then it's then they get their champ gets a big win.
Okay, so maybe I'm just so I thought the reason this was in my head is I thought I heard them say he came off the Challenger Series, and this was his actual PFL debut. I was wrong on that. He did fight last year in the regular season, losing a split decision to Gleison Tibau.
Okay.
And also losing to Magomed, the first Magomed we were talking about, via right hook in the first round. He beat Gleison Tibau, lost to Magomed, lost to Sadabu this year. So I was wrong, but for some reason, I remember them saying that in the broadcast.
It's because he was on the Challenger Series last year.
Yeah.
And came off the Challenger Series last year, fought and made his debut. So maybe we were just probably talking or something and you just didn't hear it correctly, but you did hear that part for sure.
Yeah.
No, I knew he was on the Challenger Series. It was just I thought this was his debut, not into the regular season. So that's my bad.
It's all good.
I had heard that.
It happens. But yeah, either way, Sadabusi, another great, just a great performance coming in. Had all decisions last year in the PFL, so good to see him get a nice second round finish. The other 170, Naib Lopez gets a decision win. I don't know, wasn't the greatest fight. But I mean, he gets 3 points in the welterweight division, so with a big win in his second one, he can easily end up somewhere in that top 4 going into the playoffs. So we shall see how that plays out. 170 was just absolutely great, so much fun. And then we get to 155, which a historic fucking record for the PFL. They have all 5 fights in all 5 tournament fights for the or whatever regular season fights for 155, and every single winner gets a decision.
Yeah.
All of them at 3 points.
And the only one that I
do
think,
they go by scorecards then? Whoever won the most rounds?
Yeah, that's the problem. If they all won unanimously 30-27, then it's even harder.
I don't know. How do they do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do they just hope that they all like someone starts getting finishes or something in like the second fight, so then they can like?
Oh wait, Jimmy, we discussed this. They play rock paper scissors.
Oh yes, they're gonna go in there and play rock paper scissors. Yes,
but
you're right. Let's go.
For the 155ers, like, because it's the only fight that I truly remember anything happening. It was the only one that was really a good fight, was Clay Collard versus Yamato. Yeah, so
Clay put on a fucking amazing performance. It got fucking risky, fucking towards middle half in the end, but
yeah, it did.
Yo,
those leg kicks,
his boxing, the fucking consistent body work. Like,
that's what I love seeing.
Yeah,
I love seeing
beautiful.
that consistency body work.
People, I mean, like, he gets real sloppy with it and just, like, just gets a little bit, like, in front of his skis, just going right out there, just hands low, just swinging at the body, going up top, and, all it's gonna take is a solid counter puncher, you know what I mean? That's, like, that doesn't get overwhelmed by that pressure, and, like, he can get chinned pretty easily, honestly. But, but, against these guys that can't fucking deal with it, he was just, the first round and a half, he was just walking all over Nishikawa. It was honestly amazing to see.
It was so much fun seeing. And then once Nishikawa was able to start landing those leg kicks, like, it was getting dicey for Clay Collard right there, because he was like, every other kick he was like getting his leg kicked out from under him, falling over, getting right back up. So it was just like,
just trying to walk it off. But that bell came, he had some time to recover a little bit.
Because just walking forward like that, like, just like, because every time he's getting leg kicks, he's just walking forward. So it's just all the weights on it, all the pressure, he's going right into it, and just making that damage so much worse for him.
That's why a boxing stance is so bad in MMA. It's because all your weight is on your front foot. So you're just like, really it can really just be there to get hammered on by low leg kicks, normal leg kicks, like
anything
inside, outside, just
really tear up that leg. But trying to make the adjustments, switching stances, but ends up getting the unanimous decision win.
I was about to say,
tough fight, but great performance.
Oh yeah, it was tough, especially in that third round. Like, once he was like, his coaches were like, no, get him up against the cage, get a half collar tie, and just fucking start dirty boxing him. We do not need to risk getting a leg kick TKO, essentially. Yeah,
that would, imagine third round fucking he was able to get leg kick TKO finished.
Oh my god,
that would have been insane. I was getting real worried about that.
Deadass, because it for sure could have happened, and that would have sucked because he put on such an amazing performance just to get leg kick TKO'd, but it didn't happen. So
exactly.
Oh, man. But and other than that though, the returning champ OAM Olivier Aubin-Mercier fighting Shane Burgos in his PFL debut. Just a lackluster fight. It was just and it just sucked because the last 15 seconds, 10 seconds or so, Shane just started throwing bombs on OAM and going after him. It's just like, god damn it, bro, if you did that at any point, you could have knocked this dude out.
Right, like what made you wait until that long? Like, I don't know if it was just, coming into the PFL and fighting the champ, being up a weight class, if he was just like, I don't know what he had going on in his brain, but he was not. I saw afterwards that he just felt that he couldn't get out of first gear all night, and so I don't it could have been the new weight class, just nerves in a new promotion that that's a big thing, even with just a lot of high level people that are champions in other promotions, they come into a new one and that kind of first fight jitters still of and they probably just have the pressure of I need to keep up the performances I've been having, people just have these expectations.
Exactly.
But he just wasn't really what's the word I'm looking for? He just wasn't moving forward a lot. I don't know. He was just not doing enough. Just very slow paced.
Aggressive. Wasn't
being
really
hesitant.
hesitant is probably the better word. He was more hesitant. He wasn't it didn't feel like a Shane Burgos fight.
Exactly, yeah, like, it just,
Like,
I
that's
don't know.
the thing, it
His
just-
energy wasn't there for the fight, and then OAM just kind of ended up,
Like,
what was it, in the second round he was backpacking him for the
Yeah,
whole thing? And
yeah.
just,
Second round, he was able to get the backpack. He got it a little bit in the third round, not as long, but
yeah, Shane just, like, ended up fighting the hands for the most part the entire second
Yeah.
round. Like, it just wasn't that great. And then, yeah, the
It-
last 15 seconds, he finally was able to change gears, but it was just way too late.
yeah.
I feel you guys on that because it's just like this is Shane. This is the dude who stood toe to toe with Barboza, Billy Q, Charles Jourdain,
Yeah.
and did not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it.
Like I just, it has to be just the fact that he was like, I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just debut. First fight. Jitters for
And then,
PFL,
yeah,
but
like
it's
we
just
said, like, just, I don't know, fighting in a new promotion,
don't
fighting
know.
somebody new, like, I don't know, maybe in the UFC, like, maybe he just kept up more on those people and, like, watching them or talking to people that have fought
that
them,
might
things
be
like
it.
that, and just, like, now it's just all new shit. Like, who knows what was going on
No,
in
I
his
know.
brain, but I'm sure I don't know, I have faith that he will get back to it and do great, and even if it's not this season because he lost,
Next season, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
I
And
mean,
because
he can
that's the thing. Like,
still-
I feel like not as much now with the PFL, but especially when like I started watching in 2021, I feel like it was very much seen as like, oh, like these, like these former like UFC guys that like or whatever that weren't doing so good, like they're gonna come to PFL and get like an easy win over these guys, getting like getting easy $1 million because like, but. It's just like PFL has consistently shown it is not that easy.
Yeah.
Like
No.
it takes an entirely different like fucking mindset and just everything to be able to get through all of these fights just in succession, like 4 fights in 7-8 months. It's really hard. It's not
No, it
easy
is.
for a lot of these guys to do. And I feel like there's just a real adjustment period for a lot of people coming into the PFL.
It does make me wonder, to a degree, how much different it would have been if Shane Burgos had debuted when he was supposed to against Marlon Moraes last year.
I mean, he
I
would have
just-
probably got a knockout win then. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, yeah, but like, it's just like, how would he have been coming into this season then? Would
Yeah.
that have changed how this fight
Honestly, it
happened?
might have.
Would it? So it's interesting to like look at this and just be like, okay, where was his mind at? It's just one of those things.
Maybe it was also like, who knows, with just being at 155, like, fighting, like,
Just a
being
bit more tentative because it's a new weight class.
new weight class, like, he's just up in weight, he's fighting the former champ that, like, so he knows that OAM, like, is a good fighter, he can go, like, easily go the distance, so just maybe, like, worrying about, like, stamina and just, like, who knows, it's,
No, yeah. That
but
could be it.
either way, let's just hope that, Hurricane Shane just gets back on track, and I'd love to see him in the playoffs and just, oh man,
Oh, yeah.
that'd be so good for him. But other than that though, the 155 fights were very lackluster.
Yeah.
Hopefully the next time the 55ers come around, they, just, I don't know, just get a little bit more finishes, just be able to like, just someone like be able to like set themselves apart from the rest, you know what I mean? Because I don't know, I feel like that was the thing with this one. Like no one really made that statement, and like I don't know. For me right now, just kind of looking at it as like OAM's still just probably the favorite to win it.
Yeah, that's how I was feeling.
yeah.
Is that, I don't know, the way it's going, it's probably just going to be OAM.
OAM right now is the front runner, but that's just based off history essentially. Like no one is like leading that pack of, oh yeah, no, this dude really stood out. He's the guy, you know.
For sure.
It's like, okay, those fights happened. OAM was champ last year. I mean,
You're right. That's really all that it
So-
is. It's not because of his performance this year or anything. It's just,
Exactly,
like you said,
it's-
history.
so,
But we go from PFL in Vegas, which is a surprising one, to good old Kansas City, Missouri for a UFC
oh
fight
my
night.
God.
Holloway versus Allen. And I mean, it's just really funny because just one, it's Kansas City. It's just a fucking wacky ass place that in the middle of fucking nowhere that fights, like big fights don't go too often or anything.
Yeah.
So always the thought of like, just random place, who knows with this commission and just the officials and stuff. And that first fight decision with those judges,
Bruh.
That was preposterous.
Preposterous.
That
is a
was
great
so
word for it.
insane.
Yeah, that was just ridiculous. I mean, it had Twitter in its little uproar. Like, even DC commentating directly after the fight went in and was like, "This is gonna be a bad night. That was shit. Like, that was a shit
Yeah,
decision."
no,
Directly
really was.
after that, like, that's how you know.
and
Bruh.
that's kind of the thing. Aaron Bronstetter, MMA reporter, did look into it.
AB.
This was the first time either of those judges had judged a UFC event. And the judges that scored it for Edwards.
Sounds about right.
But
So they were regional judges who probably don't have a lot of experience.
yeah.
Yeah, no, you like, and that's the thing. Like, people don't think about it. Just, I don't know, like UFC jitters and shit. It's like, yo, judges be like fucking, like, you know, and
Nervous as shit,
officials
too.
feel
They're
like the
human.
same shit. Like, you're at like a big event for the first time or something. You know, it's like bigger
yeah.
feel. Like, there's more stakes on the line for you, and then.
And then they go and shit the bed and give the split
be honest,
decision
like,
to Jocelyn Edwards.
It's got to be hard considering, you know, they're you know, you're only human, so like I get at points like getting things wrong, like it's just bound to happen.
Yeah,
It's
for
just,
sure.
Man.
But it's like sometimes it's just like, you know, in closer fights, I understand or whatever. Even if people are leaning a certain way, it's like you can make the argument.
Yeah, I didn't see an argument here.
Right. That was crazy.
And the I don't know, and that's why it was just like funny to me afterwards, because it was just like, with just how the first round played out, and then like the third round, I wouldn't have scored it for Jocelyn, but I'm just like, man, I can just see the judges thinking that she did enough, and like her getting a split decision, and as stupid as it was, it was, I don't know, because like Lucy got the Pudilova got the takedown, and like in the first round, but like it's not like she really did too much with it. And then just like on the feet, like Jocelyn was being a bit more active, you know, just seemed like, and so that's why, like, I don't know, it really didn't surprise me that much, as terrible as it was.
I get it. Not a single media score gave it to Edwards.
You said not a single one?
Not a single one.
Right.
And then, okay,
I love it.
Because even at the end, though, I don't know if you guys caught it, but Jocelyn wasn't really happy at the end. She didn't really look like...
There ain't no way she was happy with that performance.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, she knew she didn't deserve that. Like...
No, yeah. But, like, I can give an excuse to David, because it looks like he hasn't really given any score. Like, the only scores he's given were on 2 fights tonight, and then on 2 fights on Bellator 276. Now, Ross Swanberg has been judging since 2013 for Invicta, Bellator, the World Series of Fighting. Like, I can't really say, like, you get to get a pass on this one.
Yeah, no, then, I don't know. I don't think either of them should really get a pass on that one. Like,
the other one, I can at least, like, again, he's always
crazy.
Scored for 2 other fights on Bellator 276, like, in 2022. In terms of like what gets posted to MMA decisions.
No, I know.
I can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, like a bit more jitters. I mean, he got the next fight right, so it's not like he's like the worst judge of all time. Like, so he knows what to look for. It's just like that
one was
fight
just
was
bad.
Really fucked.
Yeah, it was just so bad. I just thought it would be funny to open up the. I mean, the opening UFC card, like, and it just, I don't know.
It just opens with a controversial decision. You're just sitting here like, yep, that's right. That's why we don't go to these or random ass places.
Exactly. Just keep it in good spots that know how to do fights and stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, so keep it out of Texas.
Yes, keep it out of Texas, please. Don't go there anymore. I don't care that there's no state tax. Fuck it. But either way. Main event, though, Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen. Max gets the unanimous decision win. 2 judges give it 49-46. One judge gives it 48-47. Max, honestly, I feel like it was it was a much more thoughtful performance from Max in this fight.
Yes.
I feel like he didn't want to go out there just go after Arnold. Like, I feel like he really gave him respect as like a striker, just like a good puncher. And he was saying that he wanted to come out like uninjured.
I was just going to say that he did say that was his plan to, try to take not take as much damage, just like not go out there so crazy and put on like this crazy ass pace that he normally does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Arnold, he looked great for his first step up into like, a 5-round fight, like, because that's, just talking about it leading up to it, never having gone 5 rounds before, and now you're fighting Max Holloway in a main event. That there isn't a person alive that should ever be put into that scenario.
That's true, but what a time for Arnold, for Max to decide, I'm gonna calm down.
Yeah, no, because
I think it was going into the 3rd round, they were saying that he landed like 60-something significant strikes, and I was like, damn, that's it? But
yeah, right.
But like, you know what I mean? That was his plan.
That was the thing though. Even then, like, I was like, okay, it's 3rd round now. Arnold's never gone 5. This is where Max is gonna really start turning up that pressure, turning up that volume, and just start, drowning him in strikes, and it just kind of didn't happen, which was like one of those things where I'm just like, huh, interesting.
Yeah, because like, I'm pretty sure other than, maybe like the Volkanovski fights, and I have to look back at the stats, but yeah, basically for Max, like, he always has like a good like volume that he lands and throws like in the 1st round, but it'll just always steadily go up, and then 4 and 5, that's when it just usually will just drop off of like, okay, he's fucking landing. And then just, looking at the stats like for Max significant strikes, round 1, 27, round 2, 25. So like, went down from there. Round 3 lands 33, so picked it back up. Round 4, 29, so went back down. And then round 5 only landed 33 again. So it was definitely a much slower pace for Max.
This was like 1/5 of his normal pace.
Yeah, it was
for real. Like...
Yeah, he landed 147 significant strikes, which is hilarious because you like. For anyone, because you seen it on Arnold's face afterwards, like his nose was so red, it was like just red all over, his mouth was bloody, and like, you should not be getting hit 150 significant times in a like a 25 fight. That is not good. But for Max for that to be on the low end, like you said, what a night for Arnold to get into his first 5-round fight. You know what I mean?
I'm exaggerating, the 1/5, but like seriously, that's like literally less than half of it. Like he'll throw like 300 plus, 400, like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure against Calvin he threw like 700.
That's what I'm saying.
He landed like 4 or 5. Like,
I thought it was like 4 or 5. I think it was 7, but still.
I'm pretty sure he threw 7, landed like 4 or something against Calvin. It was just ridiculous numbers. You know what I mean?
So Arnold for sure lucked out for like. His first 5-round fight being against Max, for Max to be like, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I'm not trying to take damage this time. I'm not trying to.
But I mean, because Arnold, I'm pretty sure he was number 4 coming into it. Max number 2. I mean, gets just another solid win, showing that he's still at the top of the division. I mean, like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, just what does it mean for Max? Like, just getting this win in his career. What's next for him? Just where does he kind of go from here?
That's kind of the thing with Max, is like you look at like his resume, who he's fought, who's lost to, like, and just who he's beat, and it's just like I kind of don't understand him staying at 145, just because I'm like, if he were to bulk up a little bit, like gain a little bit of muscle, he could probably do 155. I don't know, like in terms of legacy, he's just gonna, if he stays at 45, he's gonna just keep beating the like contenders, and then we are gonna do Volk Max 4?
Well, so I was talking to Jimmy about this earlier with Volk, is that I wouldn't be surprised if sooner than later we see him moving up to 155, especially if he beats Yair, because it's like, he had the fight with Islam. It was a controversial decision. I think he wants that win back, but also he showed himself that he can clearly make 155 and do well there.
Yeah, and still be very physical, like, especially,
and
like...
he's, how old is he now, 34, 35?
I think 34.
Okay. Yeah. So, with that being said, like, how much longer is he going to be around, period? So, I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up moving up and just kind of, like, I don't know, doing his thing. Now, with Max, like he said, people have been questioning him, like, oh, what is he going to do? Where is he going to be? He still is only 31 years old.
No,
He's still young, and it's not like he's an old 31 years old. You know what I mean? Like, he's still like I know he's taken a lot of damage, but like he's still doing well in his performances. And
I would
still
say he's an old 31.
I wouldn't say super old 31 though.
Because,
Just because of the fact that like you see some people at 31 when they've been staying at the top of the division that they can't handle it at the age of 31, you know?
But like, I guess I'm just thinking about it because like for most people, like when they're 31 years old, like they're probably like if anything, like at their like the best that they're gonna be, or they still have like better to get. I don't like because I don't think Max is like necessarily, you know, getting like worse, but I don't think he's gonna get like any better from
I don't know that he's
where
gonna
he
get
was
better
like at when he was the champ, honestly. Like,
I don't know that he's gonna get better either, but like you said, I also don't think he's gonna get worse like very soon. So like with him being able to like with him showing that he could stay at the top of the division, and if Volk wants to move up, I wouldn't be surprised that he could be champ again. And he said it that like and he said that that's his goal. Like he's still working towards a championship. Like he's still at the top. He's still proving that he deserves to be there and that he deserves his shot eventually again. So it's like, I don't know if that's his goal, and he's like I said, still only 31. Why not try to go for it?
No, yeah, that's fair. Like I completely understand that. With like Max, like that is entirely a possible outcome where Volk ends up leaving the division because he wants that win back against Islam, and if he does beat Islam,
and I think it's better for him to stay at 145 than for him to be the one to move up anyway. Because while Max would be able to make 155 and, you know, put on a little bit of weight, the way he fights is not for 155. 155 is way too much power punchers and looking for the finishes type shit and just heavy wars. There's a lot of wars that go on in 155, and I know he has a chin, but he doesn't put with the way he fights. And like I know it was a little different last night, but like the way he still wasn't putting all his power behind his shots, even with the way he was fighting yesterday. So with that being said, like, you know, with him generally being a high volume fighter, it's like, I don't know, depending on who he's fighting, he could just really get cracked, and it's just not going to be a good fight for him. And I think he's going to end up kind of getting beat the way Volk was beating him at 155, opposed to doing what he's doing to the guys at 145.
No, I can see that.
Honestly, now like that, just like kind of thinking about things more too, because like when he did fight Dustin, like he didn't try and like bulk up or anything, you know what I mean? He was just basically like cutting less weight, you know? And I mean, like, yeah, it was a real rough fight, but there were still multiple occasions where, like, Dustin even said, like, Max was getting Dustin hurt, you know what I mean?
And not that he doesn't have power, and I know we talked about that, but
I'm just thinking, like, I don't know, like, maybe with him, like, just trying to be more thoughtful against Arnold, like, maybe that's just him trying to, like, work out a new style of, like, just how to do things, and it's just, like, I don't know, maybe with, like, because he was, like, he wasn't going, like, pushing Arnold as much, like, he was very much letting Arnold, like, come to him more, trying to be more of, like, a counter-striker, so, like, I don't know, like, going
if
up
he
at
starts
55...
developing a new style in fights like that,
like, bulking up a little bit, adding, like, being able to have that pop to his, like, shots, and then, just being, like, trying to be a little bit more of, like, an active counter fighter, like, just on the back foot.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, he might, like, that could be a decent recipe to beat, like, guys at 55, honestly.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that would put him in a much better spot to do better against those guys. I just think it'll, like, mainly where he'll struggle the most is, like, the physicality with, like, grappling, like, against the...
Grapplers is where I was also looking at, like, where it's going to be the, like, most trouble for him. Because, you know, you have Islam, you have Charles, which actually I would love to see him fight Charles again, because that first one was... You know, Charles freaking tears his trachea on a takedown attempt.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so, it was like in the very early in the first round. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would love to see that fight actually end up happening.
That would be good.
You have, you know, Dariush, who doesn't really go for takedowns, but just has stupid power, who can just seemingly knock out anyone.
Yeah.
So, but if it goes to the ground with Dariush, you know, high level black belt, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You got Gamrot, who's also another wrestler. You know, you got a lot of wrestlers down there. Up there.
It would definitely, like, there's a lot of fun fights, but there's a lot of hard fights for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, because even at 45, like, you know, there's still just to, like, stay at the top of the division. Like, there's still a lot of hard fights, and, you know, we were talking about it, like, he was saying after the fight in the post-fight press conference that he wants Korean Zombie next in Australia, and you know, I for staying at 145 just as kind of like a Korean Zombies like retirement fight. I feel like that would be just a fun scrap for Down Under, you know what I mean? That'd be a good one.
Yeah, exactly. Korean Zombie wants it. He's asked for it multiple times. He
Mhm.
wants this to be. He wants Max as his retirement fight. Just, I think in this point, like for Korean Zombie, Max being his retirement fight is essentially like his Randy Couture Lyoto Machida moment.
Yeah.
Like, is there any way I can still hang up here and like maybe not at like the very top, but can I hang with them to where
He
I'm not
can't.
getting, No, he can't. But again, it was the same thing with Randy Couture, Lyoto
Yeah.
Machida. We all kind of knew like Randy was done at that point. It's just like it's him proving to himself, no, I need to leave.
Nah,
Like, because if he fights someone under him and potentially wins, like then he's like,
I can still do this.
I can still
you
go.
know?
But if he fights the number one guy, like essentially the number one guy, and can't go, it's like I need to leave.
Nah, yeah, for sure. And like I was saying before we started and stuff, I really think that Max just wants to give him that Frankie Edgar treatment, and because he was saying it, he's just like, we kind of coming up like in the same time, and he's just like, how have we never fought each other? He's just like, we.
It is
like,
kind of crazy that they haven't.
Yeah.
Like if they've both been around for so long.
Korean Zombie and like a few years ago, Max like.
Like one of the reasons they never
Prime
fought was
TKZ and Max coming up. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons was mainly because Korean Zombie had to go do his mandatory military service for 2 years.
Yeah.
So like those 2 years, like that's when Max became champion.
Yeah.
So like it was alright. Like he needed to come back, win some fights before he could do that, like fight for the championship. So it just was a weird time for him to come back. Like,
nah, yeah, for sure. Just the timelines didn't match up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like if he had not gone to do his if he had done his mandatory military service before entering the UFC, and then was there from when after that to I guarantee you they would have fought at some point.
Nah, yeah, for sure. But I mean, another old vet that's been around forever. The co-main event, motherfucking Edson Barboza running back the clock with a highlight finish.
Not dead
oh my god. It was so fast in the moment. It was hard to catch, but Billy coming in, and it was funny because just like listening to just like breakdown stuff and like the Weasel talking about it, it was like right before like the finish happened. Edson Barboza, he threw a front kick to the body and then he threw a right hand. And then Billy pushing forward goes to throw and like just mimic the same exact thing. Just front kick to the body, throws a right hand, goes to shoot on a takedown, and Barboza just launches a knee right to the face that folds him over. And oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Done. It was such a beautiful knee. Like, holy shit. Now, he lands one strike. Keith Peterson, I believe. Yeah, it was Peterson. Jumps in. And poor Billy Q, like, starts arguing. I'm like, dude, do you not feel how your legs are crossed right now? You did not go into that position willingly.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, it's hard,
Out, but
it wasn't the biggest argument though. He just sat there and then was just like, all right.
What the fuck? And
then I think once he realized and probably saw the replay, then he's like,
okay, yeah, that makes sense. It was just there are some positions where it's just like, do you think you went into that position willingly of your own conscious accord?
But yeah, I mean, like, I really thought, like, I knew that it was going to be a fun scrap. I thought, like, over time, Billy was going to be able to wear on him. Barboza was going to slow down at 37 years old at 145 now. It's just natural.
No, yeah.
Just always been a power puncher. Never had, like, the greatest gas tank with that. You know what I mean? But yeah, just goddamn Barbozy. I love it. That was so good for him. And I don't know. They'll probably give him, you think, like a top 10 guy next? Like with a big win like that?
He said he wanted a middle of the rankings guy, which 145. Honestly, I'm trying to see who's not. But what? Him and Giga fought already.
Yeah, he lost to Giga, lost to Brace,
and then just had the win coming back. Maybe.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I know it's a little bit too long of a time.
I was about to say Calvin's coming back at first quarter of next year, but Mozart's booked, Bryce is booked. They already fought. Ilya's booked. Giga, he already lost to. Chan Sung Jung wants Max Holloway. Emmett's booked. Like,
You can't give him Arnie coming off of that loss.
no, you really can't. Like, that's such a
That's scary.
down.
I mean, honestly,
Ah.
shit, him versus Sadiq Yusuf.
I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
him versus Sadiq.
That's a fun fight. That's a banger.
A fun fight. That's why I'm like looking at this, trying to figure out like,
Yeah, top 10 is
like-
just hard.
well, not only that, they're all booked.
Yeah.
The
No, and that's
ones
what I
who
mean. Like,
aren't
that's why it's just
are-
hard to.
6 through 8. We don't know where the fuck Giga is. Calvin's not coming back till the first quarter of next year. Chance on
Damn.
Dumb wants Holloway.
I didn't know it was that long.
Calvin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he said he.
Yeah,
That's what
fucked,
he said.
fucked his shit against Arnie.
I know that he did, but I just didn't realize he was gonna be out for that long. Like
Yeah.
a whole...
Yeah. He said that that's his decision. He just wants to come back 100%. He doesn't want to come back too early. Fuck
That
up his
makes
knee
sense.
again.
That makes sense.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
So like
But-
it's just weird because it.
Yeah, either way, I don't know. That's in versus any striker in that division is
Honestly,
just
yeah.
fireworks all the time. So I'm good for all of it. You know what I mean? But featured bout on that card, it was a pretty good fight. I mean, that was the crazy thing, like kind of looking at the stats. So 14 fights overall for tonight. And
Yeah.
what I mean, Max should have got scored knocked down at the end of that 5th round. But I mean, even without that, 8 of the 14 fights had knockdown scored in them. So like,
Yeah.
people are just getting dropped all over the place.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
motherfucking Azamat Mirzakhanov, holy shit, the
Ooh.
power on that dude.
Not.
You gotta work on that cardio, or at least like
A
the
little
stamina management.
A
At
little
least,
bit.
you know what I mean. That's probably the better thing, like just managing his cardio. But gets the unanimous decision win over Dustin Jacoby. Gets a solid, top 15 win. Calls for a top 10 fighter next. He is just like, yeah, give me a top 10 fighter. I'll show you what a real Russian fighter can do. I mean, shit. Yo, I mean, 205.
I mean,
I'm always. It
205
needs more
power.
strikers. Always,
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
just
I
more
love
fun.
that. Yeah. Which, if he wants a top 10 guy and he wants to show us what real power is, you know who you put him up against? Number 10, Ryan Spann. Someone's getting knocked out.
I mean, it's a
Someone's getting
Ryan
knocked out.
Spann fight, so someone's getting finished either way. You
That's
know
what I'm saying.
But oh my,
Ryan
is-
Spann's getting knocked out.
yeah, I'm a favor Azamat in that one pretty heavy.
I would.
Like Azamat
Okay.
has shown to have a chin, and he's now 13-0. I think and he has power.
Yeah.
And he's
Okay,
definitely
so
a more
then-
technical striker than
Yeah.
Ryan Spann.
Okay.
Ryan
Cool.
Spann
So,
is just gonna try and go ham on him, and he's getting
Yeah.
slept.
Yeah, he got knocked
Okay,
out
so
by
would you
Carl
rather-
Robertson, Johnny Walker.
The only other one that I would suggest would then be Volkan Oezdemir. Because what, are you going to put him up against Paul Craig?
I still like the fight with Ryan Spann.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. No,
Like
that,
I still like it. I'm just saying that I favor Azamat to be the one who knocks him the fuck out.
I get that. It's just like, oh, man.
yeah, it really doesn't bother me like who.
Yeah.
Because
Because-
Jacoby was tied for 13.
13th with Khalil Roundtree.
So yeah, he's gonna get someone above him. Like just for the love of God, not Dominic
God,
Reyes.
Please. No,
for the
not
love of God,
Dominic.
just
not Dom,
please, just don't do that ever. Like to come on, just give Dominic Reyes shitty strikers that are also bad at grappling too. Just they try to grapple, but they're still
Yeah.
just bad at it. You know what I mean? Just do that for about 7 fights in 4 years. You know, like let him. Oh, but yeah, like.
Yeah,
Anyone from 10 and up, I'm honestly fine with. That's gonna be some fun fights.
That's the thing with at least the top 10 guys. Like, all of them have decent, like, have better cardio in terms of, like, they can manage their stamina a little bit better than what Azamat was able to show. So if
feel
they're
like this
able
is
to
a good
get through that
experience for him.
first round.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like this fight was
No,
a good
yeah.
experience for him
No,
with that.
no, that's what I'm saying. He's going to learn to, like, either manage his stamina or just get better cardio
Yeah.
from this fight. But that's why I'm saying, like, what these top 10 guys, a lot of them already know they can go 3 rounds. Some of them know they can go 5. Like,
I'm just
getting
glad
them
to see that
against
that's
someone
not the
like that-
worst cardio that we've seen. So I
Oh, yeah,
have,
for
I
sure.
like
It's not.
I
could've
have
been
faith
so
that like
much
I know
worse
he's
for
not like
205.
too young, but like I definitely think he can get it together that's just,
For
he's
sure.
34 years
Yeah.
old. We've seen so much worse at 205 that I think that, like you said, that was just good experience for him, and he's
Yep.
going to be like, all right, this is something I
Yeah.
have to work on.
Really pumped. Yeah, I'm not saying like I'm not saying like he has terrible cardio for
No,
the
yeah,
division,
yeah.
'cause obviously it's 205. Like not everyone is gonna have.
I just
good
mean that
cardio
I
at
think that it would be
205.
easier for him to get it together than other people because it's not the worst.
Yes. No. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's definitely not the worst. I'm just saying like a lot
Yeah,
of these guys
he threw
already-
130 strikes in that fight.
Yeah.
That's also crazy. I'm sorry, real quick, just looking at the stats. Dustin, like, I was looking at, like, significant strikes, but Dustin, 64 of 131, Azamat, 67 of 127. Such a close fight.
Yeah, that's
Such,
crazy.
yeah.
Other, like, obviously he had, like, the knockdown and stuff like that, but, like,
And was just landing,
that
like, the
was
more
what, the first
noticeably damaging shots.
yeah. But, like, numbers-wise, just
No,
so
second
close.
round.
Like, yeah, it
I was
was...
about to say, obviously Asmat got round 1 with the takedown, and had a couple more strikes.
It was
think
just
we all
like Kate
scored
said,
it.
he was just noticeably landing the much bigger strikes.
And
like,
especially in
Yeah.
round 1, Dustin was stunned on a lot of those shots.
yeah,
Like that, because that was just full force Azuma, not round 2, just
No,
round
yeah.
1 Azuma. He
was still getting the knockdown,
Yeah.
like wobbling
No,
him, like
exactly.
yeah.
And then
The-
round
the
2,
only-
he still didn't look too bad, honestly. Like
Nah.
he slowed
Yeah.
down a bit, but he was still there. It was round 3 that he really got sloppy.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, and round 2 is also when he got the knockdown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
round 3 is the obvious round for Jacoby, even though I pissed at him in the last minute, just kept
Break.
going for the takedown. It's like,
break.
Jacoby,
Break.
you need a finish.
I was
Break.
so happy about that because it solidified freaking Azamat's win because like I thought round 1 and 2 was his. Round 3 he wasn't doing too much, but I think he could have gotten knocked out if he wasn't
Yeah.
going for the clenching and if Dustin at the end wasn't just trying to grapple him
Because it's
Yeah.
like, so when there was like a minute 40 left or so, he gets him on the cage, he like was doing good with wrapping up the arm and like landing those shots. Like when I saw him going to do that, I was like, okay, this is actually like, this is smart with the grappling and clinching to actually try and work towards a finish, you
Yes.
know? But as soon as, like, he gets out, he goes for it again, and, like, he got out again, that's when it, like, yes, he should have, like, with, like, the minute
Bro.
15 left, break and bomb on him. Like, that's all
Yes.
there was left to do. And, yeah, that's when it was just like, yeah, he
Especially,
he really just fumbled that at the end.
Once you start bombing on him, throw in mid combinations, start throwing in knees and uppercuts
Yes.
because Asmat
He's
was
gonna
showing
shoot.
he was going for the takedown.
Yes.
So if you did that, you probably could have gotten the finish.
Yeah, for sure. And, I mean,
So
it's...
and this is why I say like
Tough.
him versus really anyone in the top 10. Like all these guys know they can make it to that third round. Easy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
but
if
they just have
can,
to
like,
watch out
get
about getting
him
knocked
to-
out.
No, yeah, they have to like be careful up to then.
Yeah,
but if
because
they
that's
can
the
weather
thing.
that storm and wear him out, especially if they start like Ryan Spann has some good body kicks as
Yeah.
well. If he can,
I'm sorry, you said
tire
who?
him out
Ryan
even
Spann.
before
Oh
then.
yeah.
So if he can tire him out by landing body kicks and getting him
That's true.
to get sloppy, like it could be a long night for Azamat as well.
That's
Oh yeah,
very true.
definitely.
And I mean, because, yeah, to, like, just, yeah, with Dustin just being tough as shit, like, going 3 rounds with Khalil, you know what I mean? And not getting, like, bro, Khalil is a monster to fucking deal
Yeah.
with. Like, to just, yeah, have a stand-up fight and having him bomb on you, like, yeah, that's... So, yeah, like, he's definitely
So-
tough as shit, and, like, yeah, for Azamat getting, like, just knocking him down and hurting him all over the place, it definitely shows he has, like, real
he
power
is-
at 205.
And he looks good in
yeah.
the first round, so that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying that like those guys need to watch out for that because
oh, yeah, that's
it-
dangerous.
to me it doesn't. He's not like a one shot wonder where it's like just hopefully he gets it and if not it's done. Like he's gonna put
Yeah.
some work in on you on that first
Pressure.
round.
Yes,
and there's
yeah,
like
he's gonna put
there's just a
pressure.
good chance that he's gonna get it. It's not like
Yeah.
a lucky shot. Like not like he could really get
No,
it done. So
he's
you just have to
setting-
watch out and survive.
He's not
it.
Derek Lewis,
Yeah.
just I need
He's
one
setting
punch.
it
Like, nah, he's
everything.
hunting
Right.
it down, working for it, making those shots
No,
happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, Azamat, for a prospect to, like, the top 10, he's gonna be some fun, like, in there. I am definitely excited for him. Someone else at 205, though, been trying to get into that top spot, but hasn't, like, just been faltering here and there, very much, like, bit more down than up in the UFC. Ian Cutelaba gets that first round finish over Tanner Bozer, making his first, like, 205 debut out in the
Yeah.
UFC. I mean, honestly, the thing with this performance, I mean, Eon he looked more calculated in this fight than the other ones.
Yeah.
And what I like, just going back to like the ending sequence, it was so nice because right before he lands it, throws a wild overhand right. You know what I mean? And you see Tanner like he puts his elbow real up high to block it. He comes in again with the jab. Tanner puts his elbow up real high, expecting the overhand right, and he just came right down the middle and just rocked him bad. It was just really nice to see Eon just being a little bit more thoughtful than just wild than he normally is. And I just feel like that's just what really made the difference and what helped him get the win.
Yeah, I just was a little surprised though because thinking about Tanner Boser moving down, it was like, damn, is that going to be good for him? And then seeing him weigh in, I was like, he looks really good. Like, this looks like this is his weight class. Like, he should probably be there, and I favored him.
That's what made me change my Tapology pick. I saw him on the scales, and I was just like, fuck, bro, he looks great.
Right, like, I was like, has he just been, just a little bit out of shape, a little bit too heavy for himself, and, like, now he came down to 205 and like just looking real good. I was like, damn, I think that he actually might be able to get this done, and then got knocked out, and I was like, damn, this was not what I was expecting from him.
It's not what I was expecting from Boser as well. It's not the fight I expected from Kundalaba as well, even though like honestly it's weird because like this fight in terms of the way he was being calculated and stuff reminded me of another fight, and it was the first fight I remember. It was Devin Clark because it was the first fight my dad watched of Ian Kundalaba's. And he was very calculated with Devin Clark and stuff. And so he's just like, my dad just watching, it's like, man, he's a really good fighter. How have these other guys beaten him? And it's just like, oh, that's right. You haven't seen his other fights. Like, he tends to be a bit more wild. He tends to just kind of get into some wars and just come out the other end as a loser.
It's true. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just like, just certain people just kind of get to him, maybe just certain fights just get him too emotional, too hyped up, and like I don't know what it is, but it's like, man, like if he can like really just consistently just work behind a jab, just fucking put good combos together, be patient, he can. Because he's only 29 years old too, like he has time. Talented. He has so much time in this division that I don't know. Give it 3 more years or so, like maybe just give him that more experience, and hopefully I don't know, because he is fun to watch. He always just brings like a good fight. So I mean, but it was a great win for him either way. Good for Eon, Hulk.
Good win for Ian Kundalaba. Tanner Boser, he's now I think 4-5 in the UFC. He even tweeted this out. Because he was saying he was apologizing to his coaches, the fans, and all that for his fans for his performance. And he said, "I have 1 fight left on my UFC contract." Sean Shelby, adding Sean Shelby, McMahon, and all that, saying, "Hey, give me 1 more shot. Like, just let me at least fight that last one. If I don't do well in that, no hard feelings. I understand, but give me that last one."
Yeah, it just sucks because I've been high on him. Like he like looked good at heavyweight, has struggled with some fights, but I don't know. Like he's not a bad fighter at all. I don't know. He's just missing just a little bit more. Like I don't know, whatever it is that like just not like getting him over that hump. But I don't know.
Also, once like I think one of his problems is like grappling defense, because like once like. Because remember, like Ian Kundalaba like came in and his hands were completely up, and it's just like it looked like he didn't know what to do. He got rammed into the cage and then like take it down. Like, So there's just a lot there that I think needs to be worked on, and maybe he just needs a change of camp or something. Like I could be wrong on that, but like it just might be where he's just where he's fighting out of maybe isn't the best place for him right now, being in the UFC.
I mean, like, and that's the thing, like, with just like you saying that, there are so many people that are like, oh, like, needs to change camps and stuff, and like, I don't know, just look at it as like a bad thing, and it's just like, no, bro, like, it doesn't, you could be like the greatest fucking one of the best camps in the world, but like, as a fighter, there are certain people that can only get you so far sometimes, like,
because it's like,
sometimes you just need new ideas, new looks, new training partners, new feels.
Exactly, because it's like, one, everybody learns differently. Exactly. So there's that, like, not everybody's going to be as receptive as the next person. So there's that. And then 2, it's like, nobody knows everything. You can always learn something. So even if you are the greatest fucking gym for like so many things, there's still probably one thing that another gym can do better. And there's something that another gym could do better than them, because there's always somebody that's like better in an aspect or knows something more, or like, you know, and you might know more than them in another aspect, but nobody ever knows everything.
Yeah.
So to go around and, like you said, get different ideas, different views, different perspectives, different training from other people in other places, that is never a bad thing.
Yeah. And it might not even be so much switching camps. It just might even be just bringing in one new coach. Like, and to Kate's point, like, yeah, everyone learns differently, but also, like, to your point, like, different eyes, different ideas. Because, like,
I could actually see it being harder to bring in one new coach, because imagine being the new guy in a place where everyone already does things their way, and you're trying to be like, hey, we have new ideas. Unless they're open to it, it's going to be real hard for that new coach.
Well, you can bring in your own individual coach. Like, a lot of fighters have had their own, like,
okay. I thought you meant like in general, like bringing them into the gym and
bringing in a like wrestling coach or whatever. But like that's kind of the thing. Like when I was playing baseball, like I was taught one, my father did, but like I had two coaches at different stages, both who pitched in who made it to the major leagues, both completely different, and both had different things that had completely helped elevate what I was able to do. So like.
Yeah, and like
bringing in someone new is never a bad option, like Katie said.
Like there's so many like just different examples, and just like one like off the top of my head, like just GSP, like he used to train at like Greg Jackson's, like Greg Jackson, one of the greatest fucking camps like that has like been around consistently, and then just got to the point where he's like, nah, I'm gonna go train with Frost Hobby, and like, you know, and that was just like what helped elevate his game and what made him the greatest fighter of all time. Like,
yeah, exactly, because he learned all that he needed to from that guy. There was no more to learn from him.
What?
Yeah, like
you gotta go learn from other people sometimes.
What's the guy's name? The jiu-jitsu guy.
Brian Hall?
That GSP trained with.
Oh, fucking
his coach.
God damn it. Danaher, yeah, John Danaher.
The picture of him, of GSP, like in his corner looking over at his opponent, and you have Greg Jackson, Faraz Sahabi, and Danaher all right there. That is an all-star cast of coaches right there. Like,
yes.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I know the picture you're talking about. Yeah, that just some of the greatest minds in like all across all combat sports. Yeah,
it's
like,
awesome. Holy shit.
But yeah, like it's you know, that's it. Sometimes you just gotta like just mix things up, and I mean I don't know. I hope Tanner Boser like doesn't get cut and is able to like just win his next fight, get like re-signed, because he's good
least,
fun.
At minimum, have his last fight. Like I do think like
for sure
you can give him that fight, like that one more fight, because he is entertaining. And like honestly, maybe it was just like, you know, Ian Kundalaba came in with a great game plan. Like he just really did. Like it's one of those things where you kind of don't expect that sometimes out of Ian Kundalaba. But
yeah, I mean, someone it wasn't even, I can't even say it was a fucking great game plan. I'm just sad about this fight. This was so disappointing. Because Pedro Munoz and Chris Gutierrez. The thing that bums me out the most about this, I just feel like as soon as Pedro touched Chris that one time, he just fell apart for that fight.
Yeah.
He just could not get back into it. He was way too nervous to engage. Just barely any combos, just single shot staying on the outside, very hesitant. Bro, at 135, if you got touched like just one time that just kind of shook it. And I mean, Pedro hits hard, but he is not the kind of striker that these guys at the top of the division are. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That was just a very, that was just a disappointing performance for me.
I feel like it was kind of just eye-opening more than anything about who he, where he really stands as a fighter.
And that was just, kind of, because, I don't know, just kind of thinking of, things and stuff, and that was just, my question of this fight is, was it just kind of Chris just a little too overhyped in our minds and stuff, just coming into it, and Pedro, just still cementing his spot at the top, or top 10, you know what I mean, and just still holding in there.
That was the thing. I definitely expected Chris to do a lot better in this fight than what had ended up happening, because I thought he was really good. Now, speaking to what you're saying, maybe we did overhype him a little bit. But sometimes it's one of those things where it's hard to gauge, because last win before this was knee KO over Frankie Edgar, but then it's like,
well, even with that,
yeah,
like,
but so did Corey Sandhagen. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's hard to tell sometimes when it's like
when you're
how,
still
like, 'cause he
breaking into
also-
the top.
Yeah, exactly. Like he was just breaking into the top. Like,
and I guess with that, I don't know, for me, because like because I already knew that like he was really good, like, you know, before because like he lost to Hani Barcelos in his UFC debut, which like Hani's fucking there's your UFC debut, you got Hani Barcelos, that's a fucking tough ass fight, you know.
Yeah.
Then he gets 3 wins in a row, one in having a leg kick finish over Vince Morales, which solid win. Has a draw with Cody Durden, and then ends up getting 4 more wins back to back, 2 finishes in a row, spinning back fist and elbow over Dana Bagtarelli Bagtarel, and then the Frankie Edgar one. So like it was just like such solid, consistent performances, and just like working his way up. That like I don't know. To me, it just really felt like Pedro just was supposed to be that next step, you know. And
but that's why I'm saying that like when you're breaking into the top, I feel like it really just shows where people stand as fighters, because it's like when you're out of the rankings and it's like you're really good against these guys, it's like cool, but are you good enough to be up there? And then that just kind of showed that he might not be.
It's very true. And because
like it should have been his next step, but that. If he won, it would have been. You know what I mean? Like,
and like he's 31 years old. He still has time. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Who are you putting like?
That really just is hard for me after seeing that. Honestly.
Because like with Munoz, at least like you got like options to where like, all right, now you know where like he's probably gonna be going next. He could be fighting Rob Font, could be fighting Piotr Jan next. One of these guys, maybe not Corey Sandhagen. Sorry, I meant Marlon Vera. I meant Cheeto. He could be fighting any one of those 3.
Yeah.
In all honesty, next. Chris Gutierrez, are you just gonna have him fight for his spot? Or are you gonna have him fight Nurmagomedov? Or are you gonna have him fight someone outside the rankings?
Like, I feel like he should probably fight for his spot out. He trains with Jonathan Martinez.
Oh, okay.
But he should. I feel like he should probably like fight for his spot still inside the top 15.
It's either fight for his spot or like if you wanted to, like even though I don't like this idea just because they're both coming off losses, him versus Yanez. I don't like it just because they're both like coming off losses. I'd rather them both fight someone else, but it's entirely possible for that fight to occur.
It is, but I also I don't know. It wouldn't really do much for the division, so I'm not even sure if the UFC would lean towards it, because they're number 12 and 13, like you said, both coming off losses. Adrian's
changes
loss
nothing.
Was...
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
It's just
it was such a bad one to like the top one. Like he needs time off after that.
Right.
Too. Like that's
So I don't know.
I'm just like trying to speculate, like where does the UFC go from here with Gutierrez and with Yanez, to be honest.
I feel like
with Yanez.
I feel like Gutierrez, like at like I don't know, because Jonathan Martinez just had like the upset win over Said, you know what I mean, to get into the rankings, and so like 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 I said, they're teammates, so maybe just kind of like getting like maybe they just give fucking Said the fight, you know what I mean, just the little like built in of like, oh, his teammate beat him, so, and both of them just still kind of fighting for their spots in the top 15.
Yeah, they're still fighting for their spots, like 15 trying to take 13 trying to keep him from taking his spot.
I feel like whoever loses is going to get bumped out, you know what I mean? So like
I can see that easily.
So I wouldn't be mad at Said or anyone outside of the top 15 trying to come in, you know. I feel like all of those would be good.
I 100% agree.
And then like you said, Pedro Munoz versus Piotr Jan. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, honestly, any of those fights I'm fine with. I just mentioned like him versus Vera or Font. If I don't think he's fought either of them actually.
I could see them going Pedro Cheeto over Jan.
Honestly, I think they're just gonna go Cheeto Jan.
I think they'll go Cheeto Jan.
I think that's what they're gonna do, which I don't want at all, but it's just I think that's what's gonna happen.
Oh, Pedro Munoz did fight Font. That's right.
Like, imagine Piotr and Cheeto in a 3-round fight.
It's fucking 50 strikes thrown.
All in the 3rd round.
I don't think either of those guys can fight in 3-round fights.
Nah, that would be terrible. Oh my goodness. But a fight that we all talking about it the night of, how the fuck did this not open the fucking main card? Even Dana White said it afterwards that they fucked up doing this. But
right, but
god damn, Brandon Raw Dog Royval, holy. I always feel like with Brandon, it just he can knock out the fucking champion or lose to like a fucking like someone that's unranked, you know? He just fights in such a wild way that leaves him so open and vulnerable to everything. But yo, he just came in and sparked Nicolau. That was beautiful.
That
fucking beautiful.
Beautiful. Like goddamn, throws the knee, throws a low like jabbing like straight as he's going down, hits him with the ground and pound. It's over. Like goddamn, this like I was saying last night too. He should be the one fighting next for the title after Pantoja and Moreno get their fight done. Which Dana White even said that he'll be the backup for it.
Yeah,
which means kind of almost a guaranteed like he's next after them.
As of recently, yeah.
So as of recently. But
no, that was beautiful though. I think he deserves it next too. I was so happy for that. Y'all doubted him. I knew it.
Right. I mean, just fucking Mateusz Nicolau.
Apology.
I had Brandon.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had Nicolau. Because fucking Nicolau's good as shit.
Him?
Yeah, because coming back into the UFC, beat Manel, Cop, Tim Elliott, Dvorak, and Matt Schnell, and finish Matt Schnell. That's a fucking run.
No, I know. I know.
Bro, he was looking like he was supposed to be that. Oh, do you know what I did just think about too though? Because I don't remember if it was Matt Schnell was the last fight on his contract, or if this was supposed to be the last fight on his contract. But if this was the last one on his contract, I don't know, he might get fucking cut from the UFC.
You think so for this one loss?
Bro,
I mean, I know they be doing shit like that, but it's like he was what, number 5? 4?
I just remember because it was like, because I'm pretty sure it was after like the Matt Schnell win, he was like he was just like afterwards, just like, oh, like, you know, because maybe now that I think about it, the Matt Schnell might have been the last one in on his contract, because I just remember him being like, oh, like, you know, like re-sign me, like, you know, and just like just kind of talking about that, and it's like
I don't know, I just feel like that's crazy because it's like I know he's only had.
It was not exciting, like, wins, other than, like, him getting the Schnell, like,
well, that's
finish.
what I was just going to say, that, like, I know, like, he didn't have, like, exciting wins or whatever, but, like, he was still just, like, doing his thing. There's plenty of people that aren't that exciting, so, like, to not have any type of losing streak and to be, like, ranked within the top 10, and then to have to ask, like, oh, like, you know, re-sign me, keep me signed, like, that just seems crazy to me. That's all I'm saying.
It is, like, and it's fucked up, but that's the thing, like, for him even having to do that, like, on a 4-fight winning streak or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that, wild. Like, he even just kind of knew, like, where he was, like, at with that, and so, because, I don't know,
but
like,
that sucks, and that sucks,
he was in the UFC before that. He has a 3-fight winning streak, lost to Dustin Ortiz, got finished, and he got cut from there. Like, so, like, that happened to him last time. He lost 1 fight, got finished after a winning streak, and got cut.
That's true, yeah. And, like, that's why I was saying, like, I know they do that, but, like, that's just, I don't know. I guess it's, like, now that he's ranked and stuff, that just seems even more fucked up. It's, like, he fought number 5. He's been on this winning streak. Like, I mean, he fought number 4. You are number 5. Like, it's just, it's so fucked. I don't put it past the UFC, though.
And that's what, like, I really hope it doesn't, because he's a really good fighter. Like, I just, it's, that's what I mean.
They don't John Fitch him either. Like, because that's exactly who it happened to. Like, he was ranked, takes 1 loss, his contract was up, and they just didn't re-sign him. Like, they showed 0 interest in him. It was just
that's
weird.
sad.
Yeah,
but I did have Royval for the Tapology picks, but I did have him by submission because I thought that's where it would have gone. It would have gone to the ground. But
I think I had him by knockout. I don't remember.
Here's what the great thing about Royval winning this fight and getting the backup and probably the next shot after. He has lost to both guys.
Yep.
Before, it's a rematch, but one of them, it was the Moreno fight. He injured his shoulder and was TKO'd because of it. Like, he was on the ground, injured his shoulder, and then, like, got ground and pound TKO'd.
Yeah, but, those are his only UFC losses are Moreno and Pantoja.
Yep. And so you have a built-in storyline. No matter who wins that fight,
that's...
So You
Also,
automatically
no
have
matter
great
who wins
promo
that
for-
fight, that's going to be a great fight with Brandon, Brandon
exactly.
Royval too. So like,
You have a great fight with Royval already. You
Let's
have
go.
built-in storyline. Like that is gonna be your next like big flyweight title fight is with him because you already got Pantoja Moreno who are already on a trilogy of their own.
Yeah, oh man. Yo, I fucking love flyweight. Goddamn Dana for even ever thinking about cutting this
I
division.
know, right?
Oh, but yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
UFC, there was just like a lot of really good fights, really good
Mhm.
performances.
We
I mean,
had 2 retirements last night, 2 fake out retirements.
yeah. Oh, bro. Zach Cummings had the fucking performance of a lifetime. It sucks that like I feel bad that like Ed Herman retired, like right after in that moment too, cuz like cuz it's just so crazy how like in the one fight you had the two like different ends of like UFC retirements. Zach Cummings in his hometown having the performance of his lifetime, getting the finish win, getting to retire, and so great. And then Ed getting dropped and hurt all over the place, like just. And then gets finished and like has to lay down the gloves like
And for both of them, it was the first time both of them had their kids come out and see them.
Yeah.
So like you said, polar opposites of Zach's just like his highest moment essentially, just like for retirement, just like in his hometown, had his daughter there with him, like just a beautiful moment for him. And then on the flip side, Ed just having his kids there, getting to see his retirement fight, but just getting beat up.
Yeah.
I wanted to cry.
Yeah.
Listening to both of them, I wanted to cry. I almost did.
Which, for both of them, this being the first time both their kids were at their fights, I guarantee you they both went into the fight like this is it.
Oh
This is
yeah,
my retirement fight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's the thing with what you're saying, Katie. What's the UFC series called after like big events?
Thrill and Agony.
Thrill and Agony.
Yeah.
Like you got both ends of that. You got the
thrill of victory, the agony
coming.
of defeat.
And exactly. So like you got both ends of that UFC retirement, and it just does suck that like it kind of had to go out that like Ed had to go out that way, being like one of the longest tenured UFC fighters because he was on.
It said that he was the longest, like on the
because
broadcast.
he was all the way on Bisping's end of tough. Like when Bisping won, like holy shit.
Yeah,
this dude has been here for a while. So, good on both of them. I hope they both enjoy their retirement. Like, I'm glad that they both are looking at like this is it. Like, coming into it more likely. So, like,
for sure, they both needed to hang it up. 42, 30 years old, for both of them, and like, I just
especially.
Hopefully they both enjoy their retirement and just have something afterwards that they can do that make sure that they're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I hope the UFC hooks up Ed Herman with something like if they can.
I think Ed Herman honestly might go into coaching because he was with Team Quest for a long time.
That's very true.
Had Jail that had Randy and all that. Yep. I don't know who he's currently associated with, but I could easily. Oh, he's associated with ATT Portland. He could easily just coach there.
Yep. Yeah. So
like I could see him going into coaching very easily. Like.
Yeah.
And Zach Cummings, I don't know much about him either in terms of like what he has outside, who he's affiliated with.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I could see like honestly, like what would the UFC even hook Ed Herman up with? Like
I don't know, just a little fucking retirement plan.
Maybe in the PI.
Something, yeah.
So I mean, he lives out in Portland, Vancouver, Washington area. So I mean, like that's why I'm thinking like he'd just kind of stay with coaching. Like over in that area with like ATT and stuff.
No, yeah, it definitely makes sense. But I mean, I don't know. Are there any other fights on the prelims that you guys want to bring up? Any performances that you were particularly happy with or impressed by?
I mean, Bill Algio's rear naked choke over TJ Brown.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that was a good ass fight.
Yeah,
I was gonna say they got fight of the night, both of them.
Because really, outside of the two fights we already brought up for the prelims, Jillian Roberts got the armbar second round, but
that was the only one like that.
It was between those two.
I love Jillian.
And she also got performance of the night. Yeah, that was so good for her.
just
Oh, yeah.
taking that O from Piera Rodriguez, that was so good. I
I'll
mean, weird scenario where she gets the armbar. It looks like
Yeah.
Rodriguez does like the one tap thing, and then she
Yeah.
was just kind of turning away, and then fucking Keith Peterson comes in like 2 seconds late and like breaks it up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like it was the late reaction from Keith that like made that weird, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
respectfully, even if he didn't, she was tapping in a second anyway. Jillian had that fucking armbar dead to rights. Like
that was
they're-
locked in.
Yeah, she
It
wasn't
was either
getting out of
getting
that.
broke or she was tapping.
Exactly.
I honestly
She's nasty.
think
She
that-
most submissions in flyweight.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Women's flyweight history. Savage.
I'm pretty sure Keith Peterson's like initial just like trying to like it was just processing, was that a tap or what? And
Yeah, exactly.
No,
it was
a
just
tap.
him processing. It
Like-
just created like just a slight delay in his reaction. But I think that's the only
Yeah.
thing that created it to look weird and be
No,
a little
yeah,
weird.
exactly.
But I'm not mad about it because, like I said,
mean-
her arm was getting broken or she was tapping anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, the whole commentary booth agrees that no, that was a tap. Like I saw when I saw the replay, I'm like that's a tap. Like
Yeah.
you can tell the difference between someone trying to like grab the leg
versus like
and
the
a tap.
yeah.
Like it's not like that's a hard thing to tell the difference in.
Nah, yeah, for
Like
sure.
especially on a replay. So but
Oh, man.
yeah,
But yeah,
that was definitely like those two fights were definitely on the besides for the two other ones we had mentioned were the
Yeah.
fights really on the prelims.
for sure. It was a solid ass night of fights in Kansas City for them, for sure.
Mhm.
But it was not a solid ass night for Ginger yet again in Tapology. Let's go!
Yeah.
Like I was said that Azamat, yeah, he ended up getting the win, secured Kate the win for Tapology.
Yeah, because I
Very
think
nice,
we were,
very nice.
we were like 20 points off, 25 points, something like that. We were real close. And when Azamat won, I was like, let's fucking go. Secured that shit.
But yeah, Gingy, 275 points. I had 440, so still not that great. Kate, 465, a little bit ahead. But yeah, that was...
Yeah, my problem with last night
I
in
shit
the
the bed on the main
Tapology
card.
picks was I got like a good amount right. I got 9 out of 14 right, but I didn't get anything else right. I got one semi-perfect. I didn't get any decision. I didn't get any perfect. So like that's what really killed my points, but I picked well.
Yeah.
I got one decision. And that was Max Holloway king the decision. That was it. I got 5 right, 1 decision. I don't know how I shit the bed this badly. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that's a new record low for you, I think.
This is a record low for me all time in terms of UFC for Tapology. Like I've gotten
Yeah.
like other ones wrong, but it's like ones that like I just saw like, oh, this deadline is in like 2 hours. I'll just do this. Why not?
Nah, yeah.
Bruh, I did mine on stream while watching the fights.
Mhm.
Like literally an hour before UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was during the fucking Octagon and Cage Warrior fights. I was just like, so you gonna do that? And you're just like, shit.
Yeah, I pulled
Had
out
the
my-
fucking laptop up and everything and doing them on your phone.
Actually, no. The worst one I did was, but there were only 10 and 11 fights on these cards. Was Muniz, Allen, Andrade, Blanchfield.
Oh, gotcha.
265, 265. But there were less fights.
Gotcha, yeah. Oh, man. But, yeah, Tapology. We
Let's
gotta
go.
we gotta step our game up. All of us overall. We just
Well-
gotta start picking better and get more points out here.
I don't care because I broke the cycle and I
Yeah.
won.
Let's go! But yeah, Tapology. It's always good fun.
Yeah.
It's always
What are the
good fun
records
when
right
Ginger
now?
loses. Huh?
What are the records now?
Shit, I
Has how
don't
many ones? Is it 3-3-2 now?
No, because this would be the 10th one. I don't remember. I'm not sure. I don't feel like looking through all this shit right now.
Okay.
But we'll figure it out next week. Well, let's go. Another week in Tapology. And that means another week of all sorts of different MMA fighting announcements and news and things like that. There's been happy things and there's been bad things. I'm gonna decide to start with the happy things.
No, you can never start with the happy things. You have to start with the bad things so you end on a happy note.
Well, we always go with fight announcements. So fight announcements. Let's go.
Let's go.
Bryce Mitchell found a new opponent. Hooray! Jonathan Pierce fell out, and we get Mozar Evloev, which is a better fight. So that's fucking great.
Yeah, it's a good ass fight.
Bryce versus Mozar, yeah, that's gonna be so much fun.
And I like that now with this stepping in, even though Mozar is only one rank ahead of him, it's 10 and 11. I like that he has that shot that instead of fighting for his spot, he's staying in the rankings.
Yeah, it's oh man, it's gonna be good. We brought it up earlier, but it got official this week. We knew it was gonna happen. Brandon Moreno versus Alexandre Pantoja, technically 2, but but it's technically 3.
I call it 3 because
the first one was on Tough, so not a professional fight, exhibition bout. But yeah, Pantoja was able to get the finish on Tough, gets the decision in the UFC, and he's fucking up 2-0 against him, challenging for that belt. I fucking love Brandon. This is a dangerous fight, though.
I know
it is.
I'm really fucking worried that Pantoja is gonna take his back and choke him out.
I think he is.
It's
I honestly think that Pantoja is gonna be our new champ. I love Brandon, and I would love to see him get the win, especially after losing to him twice. And maybe after losing to him twice, he, has just gotten better and
oh yeah, he's gotten so much.
Well, I know he has gotten better, but I mean, I don't know, gotten better for him specifically, just learning how he has to fight against him specifically. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be tough.
That's a tough fight, for both guys, honestly, because I do agree that Moreno has gotten a lot better, but that's kind of the thing. So has Pantoja.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. I mean,
because since the last fight that they had was in 2018, where Pantoja gets the decision win. That's actually when Brandon Moreno got cut from the UFC. Gets a win in LFA, comes back to the UFC though, has a draw with Askar Askarov, who fucking top 5 fighter in the world. You know what I mean? Even though he's not in the UFC anymore. Then gets a decision win over Kai Kara France, Jussier Formiga, finishes Brandon Royval, has a draw with Figgy, chokes out Figgy, loses to Figgy, finishes Kai Kara France in the rematch, and then finishes Davison in the quadrilogy.
And I mean, with just a little bit of MMA math, Pantoja did lose to Askar Askarov and Figueiredo. Which I know that obviously Moreno has the one loss, but he has 2 wins over him.
MMA math is such a weird thing. So
I know it is, and I know that it really doesn't mean too much, but I was just throwing that little tidbit of information in there.
No, because it's interesting because they both have common opponents and things like that. So it is interesting in the sense of how did the fights go. It's not good to just be okay, this person and this person both fought this person won this. I guess this person lost. So this. But actually going back and doing a film study on both those fights and seeing how those fights ended up happening and what they did good and what they did bad against that particular opponent, it can show you okay, this is how their fight could go.
Right.
That'd be a fun one to do. Just going back looking at kind of both their careers and stuff like that. That would be a lot of fun. But either way, that's gonna be a great fight. I am so excited for that one.
I hope no one falls out. Even though Brandon is gonna be the backup, I want that fight so bad.
Yeah. Oh man. But another, probably in reality, the biggest fight announcement of them all this week. Motherfucking Nate Diaz is back at it. But this time in boxing, making his pro debut against none other than the problem child, Jake Paul. It's the biggest fight announcement. Of course we're bringing it up.
It is, but... And I know I brought it up before the podcast, because we were talking about fight announcements, but, I really only want to bring this up because it's just, Jake Paul goes and fights a boxer, loses, and decides to go back to fighting a retired old MMA fighter.
It's the way of the world works, you know what I mean?
He learned how to make his money, and it's not against real boxers.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. But let's just hope that Nate wins, right?
All
Yeah.
I'm hoping for, the only thing I'm hoping for, I don't even hope for a Nate win. I'm just hoping that it is not Jake Paul who's the one to knock out Nate Diaz.
Like, just unconscious.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
If that happens,
That'd be real sad.
I
They're
can't.
fighting at
Like,
185
God
too,
fucking
so
damn it.
like it's a Nate at 185.
Nate should not even be fighting anywhere close to 185. He's
No.
barely a welterweight.
But yeah. So you know, we started off happy. We got to the funny, sad, you know what I mean? But now to all of the sadness. It started off April 29th, main event no longer. Motherfucking Moicano is out of the fight against Armin. God damn it. They had to they didn't have to have an event there on that night, but then they were just like, let's do it and let's make it a great lightweight fight. And this is just why it shouldn't have been a fight that night, because God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
And then, even worse than that, a week later, co-main event to the fucking UFC, was it 288, I think?
Yes.
Charles Oliveira out with an injury. Benny ain't getting that fight to fucking secure his spot finally for the fucking title shot.
I'm so upset about that, and they still haven't disclosed the injury. At least I haven't seen anything about what happened to Oliveira. But it's so, because now it's like we have no time frame. We're like assuming a time frame from it because we have no idea what type of injury it is, what happened. Like,
yeah,
it sucks. I'm so upset. I'm upset about both of them because I'm not gonna lie. I low key forgot about the Armin Sarukian and Moicano fight because of the Benny and Oliveira one, and then you brought it up, and I was like, damn, I forgot that that's not happening either, yo. Yep. Like, we were on such a great roll this year with fights, and like I know we've had like really fights fall out and stuff, but the cards have still been so good, and now.
There's from this happening, there's two scenarios that I hope for. Fuck it and book Benny and Armin. Just Armin has been calling, like he has been open to,
I didn't even think about that.
He has been wanting just like a top guy for a while, like even though he's you know what, he fucking, who'd he just lose to? Gamrot, right? Yeah. But like he's just still been wanting a top fight, so it gives him that big opportunity. And then it honestly just gives Benny an easier fight to secure his number, like to just secure a title fight. You know what I mean? Like, because no matter what at this point, if like whoever he beats in that division, it's just like, how the fuck do you not like give him a title fight in the next one? You know? So it's like, and then shit, it fucking just saves Oliveira potential very bad knockout. Honestly, because I've been very scared about that with that fight. So I hope that happens, or. Let's get Dusty up in there to save the card against Benny. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I wish he would, but he's not going to.
I don't know. Apparently he'd be interested in it. I heard, but
and like for that card,
to save it. But I mean, it's a rough one to ask for. But goddamn, if they're able to get that done, just give fucking give Dusty a lot of money to to get in there. Yo, let's go.
Yeah.
That's a fight, and then whoever wins that, they're fighting for a title. So
title sorry, Justin. You'll need to figure something out. But
but yeah, so I don't know. Let's
that if that can happen, like I would not mind that. Like Dustin versus Benny.
Yeah. So I mean, oh man, either one of those would be awesome. I just want Benny to get that fight. Like it just he's just
Benny to be able to fight to have his shot at getting a title shot.
No, yeah, exactly.
After having a 9-fight win streak now.
Yeah, something like that. It's crazy at this point, but but yeah. So hopefully we can get something fun done with all of that. Another just sad thing, just been like kind of talking about it lately. That don't think we're gonna get John Jones versus Stipe UFC 290 International Fight Week, and Dana White all but confirmed that, saying that they're looking to get that done for MSG. So, I mean, Jones tweeted just like, "Oh, how great would it be if I spend my retirement fight dominating the greatest heavyweight of all time at MSG?" And so Jones is basically saying too that he's fighting Stipe and he's done. So,
well, good riddance.
Well, it just fucking sucks that, like, because I figured that's how it was gonna happen. They were both gonna fight each other. Jones is gonna win. He's gonna be like, oh, there's nothing left to do. He retires. Stipe loses. He retires. But we can get this done in July. Right. But now it's stretched out to the fucking till November, and we're not gonna have another heavyweight champion by the end of the year.
And it's like,
let's go.
At this point, I'm like, what is Sergey? Like, Sergey and Blades are fighting for the next title shot. Who the fuck are they gonna fight now?
Cyril.
Like for that, like.
You know it's going. You know it's what's going to happen.
The interim.
You know it's what's going to happen. It's like
I know, but like,
Yep. And then Cyril, and then if fucking Sergey is probably gonna win, and then Cyril is just still gonna show that he's like the best technical striker in that division, and what? Now we're still with Cyril at number 1 or something. Like it's. And Curtis still ain't gonna get his shot. So yeah, that division's kind of fucked now. So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, heavyweight's just always been fucked up anyway, but
oh man,
this is kind of fucked it up even more. Like over the past couple of years, it's been fucked up. I thought like if they were able to I thought Francis was finally going to bring balance, and then he had his negotiation problems with the UFC.
Yeah,
leaves, and like everything's just fucked up still.
But I mean, happy fun news back to at least. Motherfucking Poatan confirming that he wants in at 205, so let's go. Hopefully we're right, and it's either gonna be Rakic coming back like off injury, or the winner of Anthony Smith, Johnny Walker. Because I mean, Johnny Walker said he'd love to welcome him to the division, and Johnny fucking, I love Anthony Smith, and but I need Johnny Walker to win that fight so we can get him versus Poatan. I need that fight so bad. That's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
This on Twitter. Like, I don't think the fight would happen, but Volkan Oezdemir has thrown his hat into that ring as well. And honestly, Volkan is also a very great litmus test.
Yes, I think he is the best fucking litmus test in that division. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. Like, but I still would prefer Rakic or the winner of Anthony Smith versus Johnny Walker. But I could still see them going with.
It's just like Pineda's 35. There's no reason to wait. Like, he's gonna be at the top or he's not. You know what I mean? Like,
no, yeah. I'm not saying like Volkan has thrown his hat into the ring, and honestly, if he beats him, I'd say that he's ranked number 8. They'd probably throw him in at number 6.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just want to see him fight someone that can give him that title shot right away. You know what I mean?
No,
because we need to not fuck up the fucking we always fuck shit up and trying to fucking make shit all nice and right. We got one fucking chance at Alex versus either Jamal or Yuri for a championship fight. We gotta fucking let it happen. Jamal versus Yuri, when Yuri comes back, Alex fights someone to earn that top spot, and if he wins, then you get winner and winner. Let's go. We need that shit. Don't fuck it up, UFC, please. God damn it.
They're gonna fuck it up.
They're gonna fuck it up. Because also another thing that they're probably gonna fuck up is goddamn Izzy and Dricus for a fucking UFC Africa fight. I know Dana White said in the post-fight press conference that Izzy's been blowing him up that he wants to fight, he wants to be active, and that that they're gonna look to get him in before the end of summer. So
let's fucking go.
It's looking it has to be either Dricus or Strickland. I assume that's just the only thing that makes sense.
Probably Dricus.
Just that's the thing is that
just because it's
I don't even know, but let's just hope that it's Dricus, and I know that at least just get that fight in. It's a good fight. There's the storyline to it, so
there's a storyline, but
I hope they just don't try and wait for a UFC Africa thing, and then they just fuck up with them ever fighting at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say it is also just made me remember the whole Dricus Duplessis thing of his coach coming out with the whole his nose being so fucked up, he was only getting 8% oxygen through his nose.
Right.
And so that's why his like cardio is so bad, and they just had surgery for it to fix the problem. Like
that's
for some reason,
insane.
like it is. It's just what you guys were saying. Just like talking about this, just reminded me all about that because I'm like, Jesus Christ. Because a lot of people on Twitter were misunderstanding what he was saying. They were like, you can't have only 8% oxygen in your system. You would die. Da da da. It's like,
it's like no, like that's how much is
idiots.
going through his nose. That's how much he can breathe through his nose, and that's how much his sinuses are fucked up. So it's a lot of mouth breathing and like in through his nose and just a little bit of fucked up breathing because of it. That's all. Not that he's ape. Yeah, people are dumb, but whatever.
No, they misunderstand things a lot. So like that was one of the things I was misunderstood, but I don't think that helps Dricus against Izzy at all.
Oh nah,
having a full gas tank.
Izzy's gonna fuck him up. For sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I mean, it'll help him a little bit to be able to breathe through his nose and just be able to control that a bit better.
Well, I mean, it's not going to help him when Izzy breaks it again.
That's true.
Oh, man. But, yeah. So, that's really about, like, all I got. I don't know if you have anything extra, Gingy, for, like, fight news, anything.
I don't remember if it was announced last week, if we talked about it last week, or if it was even announced last week, but, Davison Figueiredo versus Manel Kopp now has been booked. I don't remember if that was last week or this week.
I don't remember.
I want to say that was this week.
It might have been.
This week too.
I might have forgotten about that.
But yeah, they're booked up.
Yeah, Davison deciding that apparently
he wants 3 more fights at.
He left his gloves in the octagon for for fucking flyweight Figgy being dead, but he's just like, nope.
A few more fights.
Still and that sucks because Rob Font fucking won in that Davison fight. Like
nope. So did Jonathan Martinez.
Yeah, he wasn't getting
he wasn't getting it, but I just figured I'd throw that in there.
No, but yeah,
that is a tough fight for both of them, especially Kopp, which makes me nervous.
That's a hard ass fight for Kopp. He cannot be patient in that one. He's got to go after Figgy and put it on him. If he can if he goes after him and puts it on him, I can see him winning that fight pretty cleanly. Not gonna lie.
Yes.
But I just feel like he's gonna just wait around too much, and you just don't want to do that with Figgy. Like he's gonna. Oh man, that's gonna be fun though. I am excited for that. Hopefully they make that shit like a fucking fight night main event or something. I want that 5 rounds.
I feel like it should be.
They probably won't.
That's true.
I'm trying to remember.
They'll probably throw it on like a pay-per-view.
290. That's where it's at.
Yep.
290.
Right.
There it is.
Okay.
Yep. Makes sense. Yeah.
So
it makes so much more sense that being on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, 290 is starting to shape up really well though.
That's just gonna be real good. Oh, but yeah. So that's about it for the news and shit. But next week, we got some solid ass fights next week. We got 2 Bellator events. We got UFC. There's gonna be one. There's KSW. There's so much shit going on next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bellator Friday card is kind of dog shit. Not gonna lie. Liz Carmouche defending the 125 title, so hopefully she gets the win. Other than that,
Danny Sabatello is back after an embarrassing performance on his part. Not even during the fight, the after performance.
Fuck you, Danny.
Fuck you, Danny.
It was hilarious. He's been quiet ever since, and I've been talking about like, I'm wondering he's gonna fight, and he just popped up. So that's funny.
It's funny that it was against Rafion Stotts. He's fighting on Friday. Rafion's fighting on Saturday.
Yes.
On the way better card. So on to that.
Yeah, that Saturday card, holy shit. That main card is so good. Rafion Stotts fighting Pashi Mix. Oh my god, the fucking...
That's the tournament championship.
Yeah, I was gonna say, finally the fucking 35, tournament is ending. It's been going on for so goddamn long. Rafion's got the interim title. Patchy looking to grab that. Oh, this is gonna be so good.
Mm-hmm. Winner of that fights the winner of
Pitbull and Sergio.
Pitbull and Sergio. It is weird. It's still weird saying that. Like Patricio Pitbull. It could be Patricio Pitbull versus either of these two.
Yep. Oh man. But, yeah.
I think Patchy got it.
Possible.
If he has it, I think he can. I think he could sub him. I think he could do it.
He definitely can. He is
like, if he
so
wins,
opportunistic with it. Like
if he wins, I think that's how he gets it done. I think he'll be able to sub him. He's real fun with it.
Yeah, but Aaron Pico's back, Lima Lay McFarlane back, Ray Borg versus Kyoji Horiguchi. That's gonna be a great fight. Like the prelims are good. You have Mads Burnell and fighting some dude. Yancy Medeiros is on there. Kai Kamaka the third. Like there's so many fun fights on there. I'm excited.
There's some good fights on Bellator.
I'm excited for Bellator.
295.
Yeah, 294, 295. Let's go. The one card, not the most stacked, no real names on there, so nothing to really break down on that.
Featherweight Muay Thai Championship for the main event.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be fun.
So,
I'll be watching it for sure. I mean, like I'm excited for it. I just don't know them to really like break it down or nothing. But next week, goddamn, Curtis Blades and Sergey Pavlovich for the UFC. That's gonna be a fucking. That's the fight. That's gonna be so good.
That's an interesting stylistic fight.
Yeah,
because Sergey is so much of more of a boxer, and Curtis is definitely a wrestler. But also, like, I'm trying to remember their size because Sergey isn't like the tallest, but he's not like short for the division.
Yeah, okay, Curtis 6'4", 80-inch reach.
He's 6'3", 84-inch reach.
He's 6'3".
84. Yeah, I forgot he has long ass arms like that.
Long ass arms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's got 4-inch reach advantage on Curtis. Like that can definitely make a difference in like the fucking boxing.
Oh
yeah. I mean, Curtis only gets finished by the fucking hardest hitters, so this is the true test.
Francis.
Yep.
If he gets finished by Sergey,
it confirms
he's up there.
Yep. That's gonna be so good. Co-main event: Ricky Simone versus Song Yadong. That is a fucking great fight for top 10 positioning at 135. Oh man, I'm excited for that.
So am I. Like that is a banger of a fight.
Bobby Green is back. Let's go. Oh, that's gonna be his retirement fight.
Gordon. Yep.
Yo, I forgot he said that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last one.
Oh my gosh, Bobby Green. He needs to go out with a win.
Yeah, I really hope he gets it done.
I hope he does.
Oh man, it's gonna be so good.
Damn, that's sad.
Yeah,
okay, I don't want to think about it.
But we also got Brogan Walker back finally after a tough fight losing to Juju. And then also Muhammad Usman fighting Junior Tafa. That's gonna be a fun one. Let's go.
That is definitely gonna be a fun one.
And yeah, other than that, just some solid fights just throughout the prelims main card. It's gonna be a fun one. I'm excited for that. Gonna be Apex Fight Night, but definitely a better Apex Fight Night card for sure.
Yeah, this is one of their better cards for the Apex.
Yeah,
definitely.
So should be some interesting fights. Should be some good. Honestly, I could see a lot of finishes on this card.
Yeah,
just by looking at it. Because you got some hard hitters. Because you got the two heavyweights. You got Matt Semmelsberger, Bobby Green, Jared Gordon, Tavares, Bruno Silva, Song Yadong, Sergey Pavlovich. Like, there could be a lot of finishes.
Yeah. Let's go. And then, I mean, there's also going to be Tank and Ryan Garcia next week, too. So that's just going to be some fun watching as well. Too many fights next week. I love it.
So many fights. So many fights.
All right.
Here's to Ryan Garcia hopefully getting the knockout.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, there's only one way to wrap all this shit up. All this bullshit, right? You know what that means, Kate? You know what that means, Gingy?
Of course. Get on with it.
Yeah.
I'm getting on with it. I'm going through my phone. That's why I'm talking. Let's go. Who's that fighter? All right. All I'm going to say is we're going to start off with a normal looking like a picture, but it's just going to proceedingly get more wacky from there.
Oh, yay.
So let's go. First fighter. Who's that fighter? Normal looking stand, just standing there all non-menacingly, you know what I mean? Who are you thinking that is, Kate?
Greatness up for sure. I don't know. I hate that I don't really know what people be looking like, because I feel like this guy has a beard, and I can't really see anybody with a big beard on here, and so I don't know who has a big beard on other days.
Who you thinking? Just toss a guess out there.
Let's go Tanner Bozer.
Tanner Bozer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gingy!
All right.
Who's your guess?
Clay the Carpenter Guida.
Clay the Carpenter Guida? Kate said Tanner Bozer. The correct answer would be the Carpenter. Clay Guida. I thought it'd be a fun one to mix up because he had the short hair this time and he always got the long hair, so I just,
I saw the hair, I'm like, oh, that was Clay's new haircut.
Let's go. Alright. Second one. We getting a little bit more wacky out here, but not too wacky. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
Who's that fighter?
I mean, what the fuck?
They're out here throwing punches.
Dustin.
Kobe?
Yeah.
Complete shot in the dark because you're giving us this Marge Simpson uppercut ass picture, but
right.
Dustin Jacoby.
That's who I said.
That was also Kate's guess. The correct answer is Edson Barboza.
You know, that makes sense.
Throwing a big old left hook.
But yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yo,
that one was a bit harder.
Yeah, I was just trying to pick fun ones, but yo, this was
a
hard
I don't really
one
like the fun ones because at that point it makes it like extra difficult. Like for no reason, because it could literally be anybody, because especially in certain positions it's like, I don't know, there's no defining factor.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. But go on.
No, go on.
Last one. Who's that fighter?
I'm just glad they don't have flags in them anymore.
Who you thinking, Kate?
Jimmy, how is anyone supposed to think anything off of this? I'm thinking, but that's like, it's so bad. Like, Chris Gutierrez.
It's the only person I can think of. Is that Brandon Raw Dog Royval?
Kate said Chris Gutierrez is Brandon Royval.
Oh, thank God. I just... that one was a weird one, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, it has to be Brandon. And then I re-looked, I'm like, is it? Like, I had to look at it like 4 times, like...
Let's go. Alrighty. That was that week's of Who's That Fighter. You want to do it next week, Kate?
I think they're the only one who hasn't done it
Keep
yet.
saying that, I just have to be shown how to do it.
It's fine. But yeah. Just trying to pick some fun ones, because it's, just, I don't know, I can just make everyone just having their arms up, and just that could be every picture, and that'll it's hard to fucking find pictures, like, it's crazy.
Pick your pictures, I will say that.
Huh?
It is interesting to see, like, the different philosophies between me and you when we're picking pictures. Because, like, I've done it, twice now? And you've done it, the rest of the time. But it's definitely interesting. to say the least.
Well, yeah. But that's gonna be that. That was a fun one. There's I don't know. Anything else that guys want to touch on for anything of the night or fights, anything?
Not that I'm able to currently think of.
Oh, yeah. Well, we shall catch you guys next week. All the usual, like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. All the stuff in the description. Check out mine and Gingy's Twitch. Let's go. Peace out, everyone.